Just a beautiful afternoon for football, Coach. They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They run with David Montgomery, the third-round pick from Iowa State. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Second and 6 at the 29-yard line.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. Well, the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Hey, here we go.
They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
Brings up second and 7 at the Vikings' 48-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7.
We own them. We own them. Ran,
Trubisky will throw. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1 yard gain. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. From the shotgun is Trubisky, escaping the pressure right. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal.
They can't hang with us.
Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very...
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward, since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The toss play to Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky, looking for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Trubisky, nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
For the field goal, a 46-yard attempt.
And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Handoff comes to Montgomery. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And great effort. Does he get burned for that in film? He fought through some tackles. End result, though, a fumble.
It's going to be one of those situations where he'll get yelled at about the fumble, but at the same time get a check mark for the extra effort. And so it's one of those tough, tricky things for coaches. You don't want to coach it out of them so much that you take away the effort. You just want them to be conscious of taking care of the football.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, two teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. "35 yards that time on the punt, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, the fumble to turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief, that you still have the lead. And coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times.
Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Stop! 180! 54 Mike.
On 2nd down, it's Davis, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Stop here, D. Hey, alert. 54, right there. 54 Mike. It's a party now.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
First down, here's Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. On second and a couple, Cousins. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game. And they got the extra point, and it's now 13-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
To throw again on second down, Trubisky. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipating.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been a constant.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The punt team on now as from their end zone they get it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side. No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins the thrower. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's got Kyle Rudolph. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Cousins now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. To the air again, it's Cousins. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Cousins again. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Throwing is Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now it's Trubisky, and this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Back to it after the pick six. Cousin. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A give. This is Montgomery. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Bears on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That's complete right side to Gabriel. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now it's Davis, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
At their own 20-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. Dances by him. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go. 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Mike. 180. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. And here we go.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Cousins on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 25 yards that time.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59. In your face.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 29, Cousins going for it all. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit.
And it'll be intercepted. picked off by Prince Amukamara. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a run with Montgomery. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check back, check back.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully, and I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
Again, it's Davis. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Throwing here, Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 16 yards, a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Here we go, here we go.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where was that all game? Or maybe just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game, because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Fourth down, Cousins. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 18. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Trubisky will throw. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 27 yards there, a first down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Trubisky now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
180. Mike's 5-4.
I got him.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down now, it's Montgomery. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jahan, 80. 59. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
A first down throw for Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will get him one closer. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On second down, Montgomery. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
Let's go.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for Chicago, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. They will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.